its findings that the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective, and the FDA has given its full and final approval.
That the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, has tested positive for COVID.
Her diagnosis comes just weeks after the president, her husband, contracted the virus twice within the span of just 10 days, what's known as a rebound case.
She's ensured the team followed the science above all. They've looked at the mountains of clinical data, clinical trial data, and the safety and efficiency data, and concluded without question the vaccine was safe and effective.
The senator writing today that he got infected despite following all of the safety precautions, including masking, remote working, and getting vaccinated.
We know that Prince Charles tested positive for a second time, and that was along with the Duchess of Cornwall.
Belgium's Prince Joachim, a nephew of King Felipe, has tested positive for the new coronavirus.
Japan's Princess Yuriko, the oldest living member of the imperial family, tested positive for COVID-19 on July 13th.
After Prince Carl Philippe and his wife Princess Sophia tested positive to coronavirus.
Danish royal family is self-isolating after Prince Christian tested positive for COVID.
I want to be clear about what the CDC is saying and what the CDC is not saying. The CDC is saying they have concluded that fully vaccinated people are at a very, very low risk of getting COVID-19.
The King and Queen have tested positive for COVID-19 and are now undergoing self-quarantine at Istana Negara.
Norway's 85-year-old King Harald V tested positive for the coronavirus.
Princess Mary has tested positive for COVID just 9 days before Christmas.
And on Thursday, Prince Albert of Monaco announced that he has tested positive for the coronavirus.
The various shots that people are getting now cover that. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
The Queen of Denmark has tested positive to COVID shortly after attending Queen Elizabeth's funeral in London. It's the second positive diagnosis for Queen Margrethe, who also contracted the virus in February, despite 3 vaccines for COVID.
Princess Yoko of Japan has developed pneumonia after testing positive for COVID-19.
This is Prince Andrew. We haven't seen him today. That is possibly because he has tested positive for COVID.
Hey folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID. My job as president is to protect all Americans. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated.
People were forced to be vaccinated with a medical product in order to exercise their basic fundamental rights, and they were told, and we were told, that if you get vaccinated, you will not be infected, and you will not spread the virus. They even ran a campaign and said, get vaccinated in order to keep your grandmother and your parents healthy. And we find out now, after more than a year, that when they requested the special marketing authorization, they haven't tested the vaccine to see if it's stopping the spread of the virus.
The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, they've completed their independent scientific review. And based on that review, the majority of Americans who were fully vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine are now able to receive the booster shot. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Like I did in my first and second COVID-19 vaccination shot, I'm about to get my booster shot and do it publicly. We are helping. We're doing more than every other nation in the world combined. We're going to have well over 1.1 billion shots, and we're going to continue going. We're going to do our part. We've also given a great deal of funding to COVAX, which is a vehicle that does this. So we have plenty of opportunity to make sure we get everyone in the world to play our part the largest part in the world of getting everyone vaccinated. Every child from 6 months older is going to be able to be covered now. We have sufficient quantities of vaccine for every child in America, in every state in the union. Hey folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID.